Imagine then if if I just absolutely exasperated with my kids are acting up, and I just cannot get them to settle down and leave me alone today, and I have to get work done, and I say, oh my God, I will pay $5,000 to somebody who just watches my kids for the afternoon. And Laura's like, I could put up with that. Shoot, I should have picked Maya. Maya's a teacher. Maya could definitely put up with that. And other people's kids are always easier to put up with. No?
It depends. It really just depends. You have to come with a stern tone off rip.
Oh, Maya.
Yeah.
So
I'm sweet.
You are. And my kids don't need babysitting. They're 21 and 18. So but anyhow, let's pretend.
Okay.
And so I'm just exasperated. So I'll give $5,000 if you just watch my kids for the afternoon so I can get this work done. Does that sound like a serious offer? But let's say that you come over and you start babysitting my kids, and at the end of the afternoon, you go, where's my $5,000? And I'm like, Maya, really? $5,000 for 3 hours of watching my kids? You know that wasn't serious, was it?
I didn't know it was serious. I didn't know. I thought you were serious.
I
You
was
said it.
frustrated and irritated. So one of the requirements about an offer is that it has to be made seriously. And ultimately, that would be a point for us to prove. That would be an issue for the court to decide then. Did I make that offer seriously or not? I think most reasonable people, we would use a reasonable person standard. And I think most reasonable people would assume that that's not a serious offer.
Right.
But then again, it depends how desperate, and you don't know what they were like when they were little. I mean, there were times I might have given you my right kidney just for watching the kids for a couple hours. So an offer has to be made seriously. A second requirement of an offer is that it has to be definite and certain. It has to be definite and certain. And the third requirement, sorry, I'm choking this morning, is that it has to be communicated to the offeree. So definite and certain. Let me give you examples of a definite and certain offer. Let's say that I say to you, Mariah, Jasmine, are you cooking? Now, come on, if I don't get to bake during class, you don't get to bake during class. Not fair.
I am. I just got off work and I have not eaten yet.
All right. Mariah, I say to you, if you come over and paint my living room, I will give you $300 worth of ice cream. Good deal?
No.
Why? That's a lot of ice cream, honey.
Yeah, but I can't fit it all in my freezer.
Well, what if I don't give it to you all at once? What if I say you can come back all year and eat as much ice cream as you can consume at my house?
But what if I don't finish all of it?
Well, how much is all of it?
All that you offered.
I said as much as you can consume.
But then you first said like $300 worth of ice cream.
I know, but you didn't like that offer because you said you didn't have room in your freezer. So what if you want to come over and eat $300 worth of ice cream? You could keep coming over to my house as much as you want till you've eaten $300 worth. Would you like to do that?
No.
Hi. I'm a nice person to eat ice cream with.
Yeah, but then I'll be obese.
I mean, I'm a little chunky, but I'm a nice person to eat ice cream with.
Yeah, you probably are.
But you don't want to do it?
No, ma'am.
And the only reason is because you're afraid you're going to get chunky?
Yeah.
Honey, that's a stupid reason to say no. Because that's not the right answer. No, you don't want to take that offer, but not because of your waistline. There's a better reason why. What was wrong with my offer?
I don't know.
How much is $300 worth of ice cream? How much
$300.
ice cream is
300.
that?
It depends on what kind of ice cream.
And who's
True.
valuing the ice cream?
What'd you say?
And who is valuing the ice cream?
Yeah. Because what if you get the kind that she doesn't even like?
And
It's
also,
$300
you go
worth.
to Publix and you buy a container of ice cream, you can buy a big container for $5, $6, right? But
Mhm.
if you go to an ice cream place, you might only get a small scoop for $5. What is $300 worth of ice cream?
It's up to the person.
Which
Depends
means,
on what kind of ice cream.
right? Which means it's not a definite and certain amount in the offer. That's not going to be mutual assent because my idea of $300 worth of ice cream is probably not what Mariah's idea of $300 worth of ice cream is. Mariah, you thought you were going to eat enough ice cream over the course of the year to just blow up like a balloon. I was thinking you'd come over maybe 10 times.
Doesn't seem like a fair deal to me.
It really doesn't. But that's not why it's not a good deal. It has nothing to do with your waistline. It's because you don't know what that is. But what if I say to Jamie, I own a bakery and I like to bake apple pies. And I know that you have an orchard. So let's enter into a contract that I will buy as many apples as I need in a year from you at $10 a bag.
How big is the bag?
It's a 1 bushel bag.
What's that weight?
I don't know. Just go with it.
Deal.
Like an apple.
Like the apple pies?
It's a good size bag.
Deal.
Really?
Yeah. I want apple pie.
How many apples do you think you're going to sell me this year?
A lot?
What if I decide this year I don't want to bake apple pies?
But you said you bake apple pies.
Well, I do. But what if this year I don't want to? Or nobody put in orders for apple pies. This year everybody seems to want pecan and pumpkin.
Wow, they're missing out.
They really are, because apple is the king of pies, I must say. Not everybody likes apple pie. My
What if there's
husband doesn't like apple pie.
stipulation?
Huh?
What if there's a stipulation that you have to buy at least so many bags?
Well, now that's not the contract we have. My
Then
contract is I'm going to buy as many as I need.
no.
Right.
It's not a definite, like, I don't have like an answer for that of how many I will be selling and how much I could be making.
That's right. I mean, maybe I'm going to bake apple pies, but maybe I'm only going to bake apple pies for a week at Thanksgiving, and the rest of the year I'll never bake them again. You really haven't made anything off this contract. You don't necessarily want to sign this contract. It's meaningless. There's no definitive amount. How many I need? You want to know you're guaranteed to buy 50 bushels a month of apples. You want to know what it is that you're selling. You can't run a business on how many I need, because if everybody wants pumpkin pie this year because they're stupid, then, you know, you're out of gas. And Mariah isn't going to be over to put ice cream on the apple pie, so nobody's going to eat anything, and y'all are no fun. Also, the offer has to be communicated to the offeree. So let's say that my cat Tom, who you all have seen in here a few times, my pretty calico, she loves to climb trees. And so she climbs up to one of the oak trees, and she doesn't want to come down. These things have happened to me in my life, trust me. All these scenarios are real. And so I put a sign on my driveway so that any of my neighbors see it. It says, anybody who can get Tom down out of the tree, I'll give you $100.
Didn't Pat save the cat last week?
Did he? Oh, did we do this one? Oh, we already did this one, and he didn't see the.
Pat saw the sign. No, Pat didn't see the sign, but Keyshawn did.
Oh, then we already did this one. Okay. So it has to be communicated to the offeree, otherwise it doesn't count. I didn't realize I got to that point of it yet. So mutual assent, the offerer has to tell the person, the terms have to be definite, and the offeree has to know about the offer. I did not know we used my cat example. This wouldn't be the first time. I had one that slept in the tree for 2 days. I nearly had a heart attack. Okay. I have a lot of cats and I have a lot of trees. All right. What about an advertisement? We're going to see a lot of these with Black Friday coming up. Black Friday says we're going to sell a 65-inch smart TV for $350, doorbuster sale. And you get there and you say, I accept, I'm buying that TV for $350. And they say, we are out. Are you going to sue them for breach of contract? Why? Did they make you an offer?
You just didn't get there quick enough to get it.
But they made an offer. Does the offer say I got to be there within the next 12 minutes? Does the offer say I have to knock down 3 old ladies and punch a decrepit old person in the face in order to get it? Why are you laughing? Like you never thought about that on a Black Friday. You ever look around and go, I could take some of these people. I really could. Yeah, Mariah has. You can knock a couple old people down. They won't notice the difference in the Black Friday sale. So what is it? An advertisement? Is an advertisement an offer?
It is, but there's usually a stipulation that it's while supplies last.
Usually, but it's actually not an offer anyway. An advertisement is considered an offer to trade, an offer to do business, an invitation to do business. An advertisement is not considered a hard offer. So if you get there and they're sold out, or they never had it in the first place, which I think they do a lot of times, it's just an invitation to trade is what it is. It doesn't mean that they actually have to sell you that product at that price. So they may honor it, but they don't have to. There's no contract actually being formed there. Okay. Let's see. If we talked about, I think last week, the acceptance has to be completely unconditional. Otherwise, it's not an acceptance. What is it?
A counteroffer?
It's a counteroffer, right? So even if one of the terms is different, it's not an acceptance. So, for example, I'm selling my house for $300,000. And I want the closing to be on January 1st. And Peyton says, yes, I'll buy your house for $300,000, but I'm going to need to close January 15th. Do we have a contract? No, we don't. Peyton just made me a counteroffer. Now she's the offerer and I'm the offeree. And now if I say, well, Peyton, I tell you what, I'll sell it to you for $310,000, but we'll go ahead and move the closing to January 15th. Contract? So what are you going to reply back to me?
I'd probably accept it.
Would you? So you would mirror image and say, I accept. Then we have a contract. Then we have a meeting of the minds. Then we have mutual assent. So then we have to talk about consideration. That's the next step. Once we have that meeting of minds, we have to have consideration. Consideration is when someone gives up something of value or gives up the right to do something that they do not, that they would otherwise have the right to do. Usually when we're talking about consideration with contracts, usually we're talking about money. Most contracts deal with money, but they don't have to deal with money. It can certainly have to do with giving up your time or giving up your right to do something that you're legally allowed to do. So consideration in the case of the house, I'm going to sell you my house for $315,000. You're going to buy my house for $315,000. What am I giving up? What are you giving up? Peyton.
You're giving up your house.
I'm giving up my house. I'm giving up the right to live in my house. And what are you giving up?
I'm giving up, obviously, my money. I'm paying you for the house.
You're giving up $315,000. What if I say, for consideration, what if I say that, who can I pick on? Jose looks fun to pick on this morning. What if I say, Jose, if you come over to my house and clean my cat boxes, you always laugh, but you don't understand it is a twice-a-day job at my house, okay?
Mm-hmm. How many cats do you have?
If I tell you, will you judge me? Right now I have 8.
That's so many. What are all their names?
Serge, Tom, Lily, Sealy, Ruby, Brandy, Yinli, and Squeaky.
Those are fantastic names.
Yinli is a Siamese cat.
Wow.
It means beautiful sound in Chinese.
Does she meow a lot?
No, but she does have a pretty little meow, and she's very pretty. And they're all rescues. Everybody's a rescue. Everybody from bad situations. Like nobody, I didn't buy any cats. They're all rescues from really, really horrible situations. So you're going to come clean my cat boxes, Jose, for these beautiful girls that are rescues and they need your help, okay? Mm-hmm. I've sweetened the pot now, right? And so in return for you, I am going to tutor you in business law so you pass your MBA class.
Mm-hmm.
Want to do it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Wow, you're easy. But I'm only going to help you with this class here. I mean, I don't know anything about accounting, sweetheart. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I just know this. This is all I can teach you.
Yeah, but if you'll teach me what, 1 hour a day, and it will take me 1 hour a day to clean the box of your cat. So I don't see it like a bad deal either.
Yeah, but sweetheart, you don't see the problem with me only teaching you this class?
No.
What am I giving up?
Your time / knowledge.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Jose. I'm already obligated to teach you this stuff.
Oh, that's true.
I'm already under contract with Thomas University. I gotta help you. If you want to pop on a Zoom meeting with me or you want to email me, I can't charge you for that. I'm already getting paid for it. The school's paying me.
Well, I guess I'm just too nice. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you really are. Look, I can't give up something I'm already obligated to do and that I'm already getting paid for. I'm giving up nothing. If I say, Jose, I will teach you business law, I'll help you as much as you want in this class, guess what? I got to do it anyway. I'm paid for it. I have a contract with the college. I have to do this. So what am I giving up?
Nothing.
Nothing. What are you giving up?
Time.
We don't have a
Effort.
contract.
Yeah.
So when you scoop my boxes and you say, okay, now help me, and I'm like, jump in line at office hours like everybody else, you're out of gas there, Jose. But here's where it would be different. You may not know this, but I am particularly brilliant at chemistry. And so I'm going to help you with your chemistry homework if you come over and clean my cat boxes. Want to make that deal?
Oh, I'll take it because I suck at chemistry.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, but let's pretend I wasn't bad at chemistry. I could make that deal with you because I don't teach that class. I am not assigned that to do, so I would be giving up my time freely for that. If I tutor you in chemistry, you'll probably fail. I haven't taken chemistry since the 10th grade in high school. So yeah, you'd be really screwed. But we could pretend. That would be something different. So I could do that. So it has to be something you're giving up. What if I say, shoot, I got some better ones. I know I have better ones that don't involve cat boxes. What about the promise not to sue? Can you use the promise not to sue as consideration? What if I say to you, I will rent you my lot next door so that you can go camping on my lot next door real cheap. Okay, Laura? And you can go camping there. I'll rent it to you cheap, like $20 a night. It's worth $50 a night to camp on because, you know, you got a great view of, you know, my cats. And, but I need you to sign a promise not to sue if you get bitten by a snake or injured on my property. I mean, where else are you going to go camping for $20 a night and have all the ambiance of living next to me?
But if there's a risk of getting bitten by a snake, then maybe
Laura,
not.
honey, there's a risk of being bitten by a snake, you realize, any place in Georgia, right? Or North Florida. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I had this kid from Curacao in another class, and he was like, snakes? There's snakes? I'm like, oh my God, y'all know there's snakes everywhere, right? Those of you not from around here. Oh, it's my husband talking to the cat. So what do you think, Laura? I can't hear you, Pumpkin.
I said, I guess I would take it because it's a bargain. It's a deal.
It is. Forget the snakes. You know what? You what? My property probably has less snakes than most because my cats killed them.
I can just stay inside.
In my house?
Yeah.
That's not part of the offer.
I don't want to go outside.
But if you're giving me, in order for me to let you stay on my property, what are you giving me? What's your consideration? Well, let me see. What is my consideration? What am I giving up?
You're giving up a place for me to camp.
Yeah, I'm giving up the use of my property,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're renting it, it's yours. You have the right to quiet enjoyment. And what are you giving up?
I'm just giving you money.
Not just money. You're giving me only $20. It's worth more than $20. And what did I make you sign?
A contract.
You also had to sign the right away not to sue me if something happened, because you have the legal right to sue me if you get injured on my property.
Yeah.
But you signed a covenant with me that said, but I won't. If I trip over a log and I hurt myself, or a snake comes and bites me, or a wasp stings me in the behind, I'm not going to sue. That's part of the consideration.
That's actually legal too.
Huh?
That's actually legal too.
Sure. It's a legal detriment to you to say, I give up my right to sue.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't really be able to sue somebody because a wasp flew around and bat you in, but the trip and fall, yeah, you normally could. Yeah. Let's see. What about if I say, Maya, I'm opening a preschool and I want you to work for me. But I know you are the best preschool teacher in town. And so I will pay you this salary, whatever it is. And you're going to be my lead teacher. But in this contract, I'm going to pay you $50,000 a year to be a preschool teacher.
Okay.
You'll never get that anywhere else. So this is a great deal.
Right.
So,
not off the first year.
So in return, in the contract, I need you to sign and agree that if you terminate your employment with me, you don't want to work here for me anymore, you cannot work as a preschool teacher in any other preschool within a 50-mile radius.
No deal.
3 years. For 3 years.
For 3 years. 50 miles, that's not a good deal. That's terrible.
Is it? Maybe
even
you want to work with me forever.
That's a possibility, but it's just the fact that you're trying to take my freedom if I decide to leave. What if in those 2 years something happens, we get in a disagreement to where we can't reconcile. I'm going to want to leave, or you're going to want me to leave, but I can't go to another place.
Can't work. I just said you can't work as a preschool teacher. I didn't say you can't work within 50 miles.
So, you're just saying I wouldn't be able to have the title of a preschool teacher. It'd have to be a different type of grade.
You're not going to be able to do the same job within that 50-mile radius that you were doing for me.
Nah, that's still. Now, what if that's just my bread and butter? Because a lot of teachers, they just want to do preschool. So, and then 50 miles, maybe if it was 30, but 50.
When you get into businesses, a lot of times there are clauses like this. And these are non-compete clauses, and they can be used as consideration for a salary. So maybe you wouldn't take it, but a lot of people would take these. And those would be examples of adequate consideration. Maybe you'll get paid a little more, but in return, you have to sign a non-competition clause.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to say my friend, she's a journalist. And so when she was in Louisiana, they were saying like she wouldn't be able to work at another network. She'd have to go to a whole different city after her contract was up. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly like that. And the reason for that is because they're afraid that you will have a following and they don't want to lose clientele or customers that will follow you to your new location.
Okay.
I have a friend who's a veterinarian. I never thought about this, honestly, with veterinarians. Graduated from school, as you all will, with tons of student loans. You get offered a job. You're glad to have this job with the nice salary. Unfortunately for her, there was a non-competition clause that if she left or when she left, she could not practice emergency veterinary medicine, which was her specialty, within a 200-mile radius for 2 years.
Ooh,
At the
that's
time she
crazy.
signed it, she had bills to pay.
Right. Ooh, that is crazy. So that means she would have to like up and leave her location
Yeah, but she has
if
a
she wanted
family.
to.
She had to drive from Tallahassee to Jacksonville and stay 3 days a week to practice out there.
Wow.
That's what a non-competition
Sacrifice.
will do for you. So that's consideration.
Yes. Ooh,
hmm
tough.
Giving up the right to do something you would normally have the right to do. Normally, you would have the right to practice your chosen profession wherever you would want to do it. But a non-competition clause can be used as leverage, can be used as consideration in a contract, and that could bar you from doing that. And those hold up pretty well. The only time those don't hold up is if they're seen as really unreasonable. For example, like if I said you couldn't work at all, okay, that's unreasonable. But if you just can't work at this one thing, that's generally reasonable. You know, nobody can bar you from being unemployed, you know, from being employed for the next couple of years. But we can say, yes, you can't do this one thing. If Thomas wants to say to me, do a non-competition clause, and they wanted to say to me, I can't teach for 2 years after I leave Thomas, that's pushing. But if they specifically want to say that I can't teach business law, that's not pushing. That's something they could realistically put in a contract with me. They haven't, but they could. You see the difference? All right. Also, other kinds of consideration that will work or not work. Consideration has to be a promise for something that's happening in the future. So, we're driving along. Michael, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Michael, we're driving along, and I'm driving down Thomasville Road, 319. And I get a flat tire. And you come driving by, and you're super nice, as I know you are, and you change my tire. Would you do that for me?
Yeah, why not?
That's really nice of you. Thank you, Michael. Of course, you don't have to. I have AAA, but you know, whatever. If you're going to do it for me, that'd be awesome. And so I am so overjoyed with you, Michael, that I say, give me your address. I want to send you a check for $100 for helping me out. Is that cool?
Honestly, I would probably say no thanks because you're a stranger.
No, I'm not a stranger. I'm me. You know me.
Well, then if it's you, then I'd say okay. But I wouldn't need the money. Changing the tire is not hard.
Oh, Michael, you're so sweet. You're in college and you don't need money?
I mean, everybody loves money, but
It's good. It's good karma.
it's a good
Well, that's
deed.
true. But you know what, Michael? Let's pretend Christmas is coming up. You could use that $100 to buy something for your girlfriend. Too bad Isaiah's not here. He might be wanting to use that $100 to buy something for Alejandro. And so you're waiting around, and that $100 never shows up. And you said, wait a minute, you offered me the 100. I said, yeah, okay. And the $100 never showed up. And I say, Michael, we never had a contract.
I mean, you could realistically say that, but
I know
that
I can
just-
because it's true. But tell me why.
because like you just said, we don't have a contract for it, and it was just kind of a good deed kind of thing.
Right, because where's the consideration in the contract? What are you giving up? And what am I giving up?
You're just giving up $100, and I'm just giving up my time.
No, you're not giving up your time. That's the whole point, honey. You've already done it.
Oh, okay.
You're giving up nothing. So there's no contract because there's no consideration on your part. You did it back when it was a good deed. There's no contract for past deeds, for past consideration. That's what that's called. That's called an illusory contract. It looks like a contract, but it's not a contract because there's no current consideration. The difference would be if you're driving along and you see me broken down on the side of 319 and you say to me, hey, Mrs. B, I'll change your tire for $100. And I say to you, okay, Mike, change my tire for $100. You change the tire and I say, screw you. You're in my class. You should be doing nice things for me anyway.
Then you're just going to get a lump of coal for Christmas.
I mean, you're not wrong. But more than the lump of coal, what else could happen?
Maybe I didn't screw all your lug nuts on and your tire falls off.
Oh, now you're getting angry about this $100, aren't you? We went from, I don't really need the money, it's good karma, to, you know what, I'm going to kill you. Man, people get crazy over money. You see this, guys? Do y'all see this? Veroni, are you taking note of this? This boy ain't wrapped tight.
I am.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, this is recorded and will be posted. If anything happens to me in the next couple weeks, guys, you know who the number one suspect is. Michael.
I'm going back on Alaska today, so you won't find me.
Are you really?
No, I'm from South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, because with that accent, I didn't think Alaska was a genuine possibility. Okay, so now Michael, instead of killing me, would be better off suing me for breach of contract. Here we do have a contract because the consideration I'm giving up is the $100. The consideration he's giving up is his time and effort to fix my tire. Since we negotiated that before he did it, that's an actual contract. We would have mutual assent and consideration.
But how do they have proof?
Well, we don't have proof, but that's a very good question. So that's what someone's always thinking is, and I get this asked all the time, well, that was just an oral agreement between two people. That doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. An oral contract is a contract. It is valid. It may not be enforceable if it does not comply with the statute of frauds. We talked about that last week, right? The statute of frauds. This contract would comply with the statute of frauds because it's going to meet all the requirements. It's going to be less than $500. It's going to be able to be completed in less than a year. It's not a contract in consideration of marriage, any of those things. So it is a valid contract. So what happens? Well, that would be a question for the court. The court would have to listen to both sides and make a judgment as to who was correct. But it is a valid contract. Oral contracts are definitely valid contracts. Now, obviously, when you get into bigger and more significant amounts of money, no one's going to sit down and probably make that contract for $100 like that. But if you're talking about bigger amounts of money, yeah, you are going to write those things down because you want to have evidence if things go south. You want, let's say, like I'm buying screens for my house. I want to know specifically in that contract what kind of screens I'm getting and how many for the money. Because if the screen guy shows up and puts crap on my windows that is not what I asked for and still wants that same amount of money, I want to take that contract to the court and say, look, this is what we agreed upon and this is not what's hanging on the window. Ideally, you want that in writing. But oral agreements are contracts. Oral contracts are contracts and can be enforced. They are valid. Just make sure you understand that because that's something that trips people up a lot. It really does. let me see. Let me see another one. What if I say to you, oh, this is one of my personal favorites. What if I say to you, Dylan, you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Okay. You know what I think you and I should do?
What should we do?
Well, Michael's kind of pissed me off today.
That's very pisses me off a lot as well.
Does he really? Okay,
Yes,
so here's what I'm thinking.
That's because I'm his coach and he just
Exactly.
doesn't listen.
Well, Dylan, I can make your life better. I've got a plan.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to pay you $10,000.
I like where this is going.
Bump him off.
To do what now?
Bump him off. Kill him.
Honestly, I'd do it for free.
Good luck, Rutland.
Now, Dylan, you know this is being recorded, right?
I forgot about that. All right, hey, delete it. I'm just kidding. Jokes.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
Huh? Which
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
For legal purposes, that was a joke.
Hypothetical, this for science.
Dylan, let's go back to this. Let's really think about this. You don't need to do it for free. Let's do the $10,000. I'd like to get him out of my class. You'd like to get him out of your life. I've got 10 grand in cash sitting under my mattress. Why don't we work this out, okay?
So I feel like you could tell me that, and then I killed him, and you could just not give me the money because it's not like, you know.
Dylan, let's reverse it and split the money.
How do I get the money? So what do you say?
Yeah, that's dumb, Michael. If you kill me, how are you going to get the money?
Yeah, exactly.
You said it was underneath your mattress. You told us where it was.
I have many mattresses. I've got a 6-bedroom house.
Okay, it won't take that long to flip 6 mattresses.
How about we just fake? Listen, how about we just fake me killing you, you know, and then she gives me the money, and then we split it. Then we both get free money.
I mean, are we Joe Exotic this or what?
Dylan,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the consideration?
Me killing someone, right?
Well, I'm giving up $10,000. What are you doing?
Killing someone.
So when you kill Michael this afternoon, and I'm only picking on Michael because he wants to unscrew my lug nuts and kill me. I'm sensing a lot of hostility from Michael. I had his brother in class a couple of years ago. I never sensed this level of hostility from his brother. I just want everyone to know that. But anyway, Dylan, when you kill him and you come to me for the money, I'm going to be like, Dylan, I don't know what you're talking about. I was kidding.
That'd be a real problem. Then
You'd
I'd
be
have to kill
really
me
unhappy,
too.
wouldn't you?
Now that that's 2 bodies on me.
Oh, Dylan.
Hey, listen, if I've already killed one, I might as well kill another one. Especially if you're holding me out on money.
You're going to kill me over $10,000?
I know where the money's at.
You're gonna have to kill the whole class, Rut.
I knew you were going to say that. No, hopefully not.
Well, what if you'd like to take me to court rather than do that? What if it was, what if you're telling me, what if you just take me to court for? We have a contract.
I don't think that I can do that considering how I'm getting the money. I don't think that's how that works.
But we have a contract. I made an offer, you accepted, mutual assent, and there's consideration, right?
It's illegal.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think that it's legal how I got the money.
Yes, Mariah, you got it. Consideration can't be for something illegal. That's the thing.
Okay.
So you're right. You can't go to court saying, hey, I committed murder for money and the person didn't hire me. That would be dumb. And you would be an idiot, of course.
It's self-incrimination too.
Right. So yeah, no. So let's say that I tell you that, Dylan, instead I want you to come clean my cat boxes. And in return, I'm going to supply you with 2 bags of weed a month for cleaning my cat boxes. And I live here in Florida, by the way.
Okay.
Want to do it?
Rutland, I'm still your coach.
How much weed is in
We
the
get
bag?
drug tested.
How big is the bag? And is
Do
it
I don't have to smoke
It's a
them. I
bushel.
can flip it for money. What are we talking about?
He gonna flip that stuff. He about to flip it. What you
Let's
mean?
go.
What do you think, Dylan? Come
For
clean
legal
the chat box
purposes,
for
for legal
that?
purposes, we're gonna have to turn that down.
Really?
But after this call, we'll talk about it some more.
Oh, when I pause the recording, we'll talk again?
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
So let's pretend Dylan says yes right now, but he doesn't want his coach to hear it. But we all know Dylan's going to take this deal.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, he's gonna kill Skelly anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I ain't worried about it. And then Dylan, you clean my cat boxes. You go, okay, where's my weed? And I'm like, I'm not sharing. I got the good stuff.
What's the law on weed in Florida? Could I go to court? What about that one? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Are you in Georgia?
Yeah, I'm in Georgia.
Okay. So in Georgia, you can't have it for any reason. Georgia's tough.
Oh, this place sucks.
You would have to have a license in Florida as well.
In Florida, you can only have it for medicinal purposes.
Let's go to Oregon. Everything's legal there.
Right. No, yeah, really. No, they've got meth legal now. It's crazy. They might be going a little far. But yeah, in Florida, it's medicinal. So you're going to sue me in Florida and saying, I didn't get my weed. And what's going to happen?
I don't know. Truly, I have no idea.
No, you're not going to sue me in Florida because it's not for medicinal purposes. You want it for recreational purposes. This is not a contract.
So I'm just getting screwed in both these scenarios. I don't like this.
I'm sorry, honey. Didn't you take me for undergrad once?
I did.
Well,
Right, you gotta negotiate better.
then you should have known you were going to get screwed.
Maybe you know, with the murder one,
students
you
always
give me
get
$5,000 up front. Yeah, on the murder one, I would ask for half of it up front.
Okay.
Definitely. But then we'd work with it after. But the weed one, there's no guarantee because you're talking about giving it to me after.
Mm-hmm.
And every month after. So that one, I don't even know if we could do that one. There'd have to be a better deal there for me.
So basically, we've learned a few things. Consideration can't be for something in the past. It can't be for something illegal. And be really careful if you make contracts with me because I'll probably screw you over.
Yeah, she's a snake.
Right.
I've learned Rutland will do anything for a couple bucks.
I've learned that too. I've learned that Rutland has no morals or ethics.
Well, I'll just air me out like this. I'm just doing this for hypotheticals. That's all. I'm just trying to help everyone learn.
But you'll never forget these examples when they pop up on a final, will you?
Definitely not.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions about consideration? Next week, we'll finish with capacity and legality. I just want to take attendance today. Okay. Let me grab the attendance.